The Netherlands flattered to deceive briefly in the first half of this chase, but it wasn't to be. It did go pear-shaped after they were 74 for 3 in the first 10, and they sort of lost their way after that. Bangladesh win and give themselves a solid chance of making it through to the Super 8. That's how it all panned out. 162 chase. Engelbrecht was a hope. Vikramjit Singh looked really dangerous, but then a rush of blood and he lost his wicket. Scott Edwards as well among the runs couldn't really come up with their finishing touch. Rishad Hossain gave them a double blow in that 15th over. Taskin Ahmed 2 for 30 as well. And Mustafizur Rahman seemed like an out-of-syllabus question. Overall, terrific day for Bangladesh. Shakib Al-Hasan scoring the runs and the bowling did what was expected of them. Big win for them and they are pretty much sort of through to the Super 8 if there's no other surprise in the other matches. As expected, Bangladesh showing that they are the more experienced, the more pedigreed side.
They were. We spoke about how good Bangladesh's bowling attack was, and they lived up to that expectation. Especially Mustafizur Rahman, the way he bowled 4 overs for 12 runs, he was outstanding. I mean, first 2 overs, though he did went for what 8 runs, but last 2 overs he gave only 4 runs. I think that was fantastic. That the over which he bowled 17th, where he gave only 1 run in that over, that was also a wide. But till 15th over, I thought. Netherlands were in the game, but that 15th over where Rishad came in and took 2 crucial wickets, Engelbrecht and Bas de Leeuw, both Engelbrecht was playing really well, and Bas de Leeuw is one of the good batter which they wanted him to get runs, and those 2 wickets actually favoured in Bangladesh.
Yeah, as that graphic suggested, the run rate was never an issue. They were always within touching distance.
Absolutely. But how much did they end up scoring in the last 5? 23. And that tells you a story. I think that is it. Rather, they scored 19 apparently. Yeah. And that tells you a story. That is absolutely amazing because that means the choke was there. And if you see, it started with that Rishad Hossain over the 15th. Then Shakib comes and bowls a brilliant over, okay, where he doesn't give away runs. And then again, Rishad, the second over he comes, he does well again. Mustafizur comes in, Taskin comes in. So the overall bowling in those last 5 overs, I think the way they bowled. And I think the big things is that, I mean, now they have a very competent fast bowling attack as well. But now Shakib is always Shakib Al-Hasan, he'll give you a certain quality. But now the Rishad is giving them that X factor and he's getting wickets for them.
Where did the game sort of go in Bangladesh's direction? Was it the Vikramjit Singh dismissal coming down the track? Or was it the double blow? Because Vikramjit was batting really well, striker to 162.
Vikramjit was, he was going only one way. It was like he was going to go for big shots anyway. But till 15th over, as I said, they were very much in the game, and we can see that how the wickets felt. Scott Edwards was playing really well as well with Engelbrecht. They were there in the game till then. I think that double blow from Rishad Hossain actually changed the whole game, because I thought Netherlands were chasing it brilliantly. They were playing spinners really well. For a new batter, it was always going to be difficult to rotate strike, but Netherlands looked in control. They were playing big shots. They were running between the wicket was really good. They were rotating the strike really well as well. But as soon as Bangladesh felt that we've got a chance after that double blow, they didn't let it slip.
The top 5 got starts. Who was the onus on to take them through? Was it Edwards? Or was it Vikramjit who should have looked to stay there?
I think Edwards is their most experienced player. I mean, he plays the BBL for the Melbourne Renegades. He's played. Very experienced batter. Doesn't look very big, but he can really hit it out of the ground. So he was the guy they would have expected to finish it. And when he couldn't do it, I think what happened was when you start losing wickets on the other side, you tend to panic because then a lot of the pressure comes on you. And I think that's what happened to him. Once Engelbrecht and Bas de Leeuw got out in the same over, I think the pressure totally turned. The game totally turned then.
An associate nation typically shows its weaknesses when they are chasing, right? The art of sort of constructing a chase is something that the more experienced teams sort of do better, right?
Yeah, actually, the more experienced side, the guys who got beaten are usually, the associate side bats first, gets about to 150, 160, and a couple of wickets goes early of an experienced side, and then the pressure comes in. So that's actually the template of associate nations winning the games. But I thought today, but in last 5 overs, the game changed. Till then, Netherlands was in control, but the quality of bowling understanding was also quite higher. I think today was a great example of how to bowl in partnership.
Yeah.
We always talk about bowling in partnership.
Yeah.
Today was that example that Rishad Hossain comes in and takes 2 wickets, and Shakib comes. He doesn't try to take wicket. He just bowls that tight over, and then it was always they were chasing from there. They were chasing. The run rate was getting higher and higher. You had to play bigger shots, and that's when the bowlers took a back sit and saying, okay, you will have to force things here. We are not going to try and make any mistake, and that's exactly what Bangladesh bowler did in last 5 overs.
The first of the 3 wickets that fell in the last 5 was off the captain Scott Edwards. He was looking all right. It just looked like he was about to take off, and then Mustafizur gets him.
Yeah, that's a very, very crucial wicket because Scott Edwards, as I said, is a complete player.
Yeah.
And the way he got out, trying to hit it slower ball, mistimes it, Jakar Ali takes the catch at short third.
Yeah.
And I think that's it set it up because you need a batsman who has situational awareness to finish this game.
Yeah.
And I think the rest was just not experienced.
And that left arm over the wicket, those cutters are very... it looks easier from the outside. But for an associate nation, I suppose they wouldn't have played a bowler of that quality in the past.
For anyone, it was going to be difficult. We spoke about that in mid-show also.
Yeah.
That pitch is not that easy to bat on, especially when you're bowling back of the length or you're bowling those spin, because there was bounce, there was spin as well.
Yeah.
And Mustafizur, when you're facing Mustafizur, there's always a doubt in your mind that whether it's a Yorker coming or a deceptive bouncer coming or a slower one coming. But he kept on bowling those slower ones outside the off stump, kept it away from Edwards' range. They forced them to play because they know that these batters are good at hitting over mid-wicket or square leg.
Yeah.
So that's why he kept it outside the off-stump and they didn't think of hitting it over cover.
Yeah.
But Mustafizur, when he's bowling well, we all know he's been bowling really well in the last couple of years. And today, again, he bowled brilliantly.
An economy of just 3 for Mustafizur, but 3 wickets for the young leggy Rishad Hossain, who clearly broke the back of this chase with that double blow where he picked up the wickets of Engelbrecht and Bastille. And I thought that's when Netherlands would have said it's pretty much game over now.
Pretty much game over. And I thought you've got to credit Litton Das for that stumping. I thought the way he got that stumping he got at Bastille, it was absolutely superb because he was full stretch up there. He was really quick. He came in fast.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you need. If you have a good keeper out there, it makes such a huge difference. Because what's going to happen is towards the end, batsmen are going to step out. Batters are going to step out against the spinners. So if you have a good keeper, it makes a huge difference. Again, on Mahmudullah's also bowling, he got that great stumping of Vikramjit.
Yep.
Again, very astute bowling change. The moment the left-handers are there, Shakib is going for runs, bring in Mahmudullah. The moment that over's over and it's right-handers again, immediately Shakib comes back. Mahmudullah doesn't bowl for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
He's done his job, he's out.
They were 69 for 2 when that Vikramjit Singh wicket fell, and at the 10 over mark they would have felt that loss of Vikramjit Singh sort of upset their plans a little bit. But young Rishad Hossain, 21-year-old only, and has the guts and the gumption to sort of toss it up when he knew that the batters were going to go for the big shots.
That's the quality a wrist spinner comes in with, and he has that quality, he has that height, he gets that bounce. Very, very unusual of a leg spinner coming in from Bangladesh. There's
always been the fingers.
Always left-arm spinners or offies in Mehndi Hasan. There are 2 Mehndi Hasans there bowled off spins for them. Mahmudullah bowls at off spin. But Rishad showed a lot of control, and that's what that matters. And when you're a leg spinner, you need to have that big heart where their players are going to take chances against you. But if you're brave enough, you will have that tendency of running away with the game, and that's what the wrist spinners does. We've seen so many times. Yuzvendra Chahal does it, Ravi Bishnoi does it, Kuldeep Yadav does it, so there's Adam Zampa does it. So that's a quality with leg spinners has, and Rishad Hossain is definitely right up there with his skills.
Bowled 2 tough overs, Joy 15th and the 18th. That's where he got his success. This goes to show that he has the ticker and he's not afraid of a big challenge.
No, and they're throwing the ball to him in all sorts of situations and they're holding him back, and that's something which is very interesting. They're holding him back till the run rate gets to a point where they start taking risks against him. That's why he's getting the wickets. And I think it also tells you, look, this World Cup is Bangladesh's best chance for doing well in a T20 tournament. Because the surfaces that you're going to get here, you're not going to get either in England or Australia or any of the other places where you play. So for T20s, if you have a 150, 160 kind of game also, I feel Bangladesh is a very good team. It's a very decent team for these kind of conditions. And if the ball is doing a little bit, they have the bowling. They have now fast bowlers also who can exploit these conditions. So just their batting today, Jakar Ali gave them a few runs at the end.
Yeah.
They're just, I think, they feel they'd fancy their chances at this point.
We spoke about how Bangladesh might have to or want to, must look to move on from Shakib Al Hasan. But in Rishad Hossain, they found a young leg spinner who's done well, was player of the match in that first win against Sri Lanka, I think it was. And today he's bowled very well as well. So augurs really well for the future of Bangladesh white ball cricket.
It does. I mean, you don't find it leg spinners that easily.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very different kind of thing, and someone who's got a lot of control.
Yeah.
We've not seen him, bowling those short balls or any full tosses.
Yep.
I think that's the key when you're a leg spinner. Your control is the most important thing,
Yep.
which Rishad has. And if Bangladesh can find their way to reach 160, 170, I think they have that bowling lineup which can trouble any side. So I think the runs are going to be crucial going forward in this tournament for Bangladesh.
Shakib Al Hasan has been announced player of the match. So when he does well, Bangladesh can smile.
Absolutely. I think they'll be celebrating in Bangladesh because they came so close in the last match. And I think that's the thing that they needed to forget. And we were talking about it, that it's a good thing that their next match was close enough.
Yeah.
So that they didn't have to think or worry too much about that 4 runs and what happened about the umpire giving a decision early, Taurid getting a bad decision.
Yeah.
All that is the past. They have a genuine chance of getting through.
Yep.
Okay, they've just got to take their chances now.
64 not out from Shakib, bowled a very economical 4 overs as well, gave away just 29, sort of controlled and didn't allow too many runs to go. The best piece of news for Bangladesh.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they wanted your main player to do well with bat and ball. They back him a lot. He's their elite all-rounder, and Shakib Al Hasan didn't disappoint them this season, this game rather. And probably before going in the game, he was probably in that rain break. He was probably watching Cricbuzz live. But yeah, Shakib Al Hasan has that experience. We know, he's done well in IPL as well. But now this was a very crucial game, and when the crucial games arrives, the team actually looks up at the most senior player of the side, and that's where I'm sure team must be expecting that of Shakib Al Hasan, and he did really well today.
Yes, good for Bangladesh that their big man stepped up, and a win for Bangladesh has meant that the Sri Lankans have been knocked out in this Group D. They will find themselves at number 5, and you will see that E next to their name on the ICC official website. Take a look at that here as well. Sri Lanka E eliminated. Bangladesh are pretty much through because they play their last game against the Nepalese on the 17th, and the only team that has an outside chance is Netherlands, but they play their last game against Sri Lanka. So safe to assume, Joy, that it will be the Proteas and the Bangladeshis that will go through.
Yeah, because what needs to happen now is for the Netherlands to go through, they've got to make up a deficit of minus 0.408 to plus 0.4.
Yeah.
So they have to make up that deficit, have a huge win against Sri Lanka, and they have to hope that Bangladesh loses to Nepal. Both those look unlikely now, and for both of those things to happen is probably unlikely. Because even if Bangladesh lose, if Bangladesh by any chance lose to Nepal, it's a close match, reasonably close match, Sri Lanka will start. At the end, finally, Netherlands will not be able to make up that run rate.
Now, Parthiv, you saw Netherlands at the ODI World Cup in India. You've seen them here as well. Are they a continually improving side, and what are the lessons for Netherlands from a loss like this?
See, they actually are looking really good. Against South Africa also, they almost won that game, defended that low total. David Miller came in their way. Otherwise, they would have beaten South Africa. And gradually, going into any World Cup, they've always beaten a big side. They've beaten England, they've beaten South Africa. Here also, in this World Cup also, they were very close of beating South Africa.
They beat Bangladesh in Kolkata in the 23
World Cup. They beat Bangladesh also, so that's something which they can take confidence of. And obviously today also till 15th over, it felt like Netherlands was still in the game. So it's not just one-sided games. It's not like Uganda games or Papua New Guinea games where teams are beating them by 100 runs. So yeah, Netherlands are definitely a team to watch out for in future as well.
Right, 8A is going to be a fast, frenetic, furious Friday for a lot of teams, not just the ones in action, but for teams like Pakistan. The action will happen in Fort Lauderdale in Florida with the home team USA playing against Ireland. Now, there is a 90% chance of rain. I just checked the weather before going on air for this show. If there is rain, if there is no action, if these two teams have to share points, it will mean that Pakistan will get knocked out. While USA are the flavor of this World Cup thus far, Ireland are the more pedigreed side, one might say. Who has the upper hand in this match? USA because they have momentum?
I think they have momentum. Ireland will be playing for pride because, they have they had a couple of losses. I mean, they lost to Canada, which is something that they would not expect.
Yeah.
And they're a test team, let's not forget.
Yeah.
I mean, Ireland at the end of the day is a test team. So I think they will be playing a lot for pride because, to have a situation, it'll be very interesting that if you have 3 test teams in one side of the draw, but one of the teams that qualifies as an associate team, it'll be really, really fascinating. So USA will not just have to cross Pakistan and will be crossing Ireland as well. So it's a big game for Ireland to hold their nerve and say that, no, we are the test team. We've got to show what we can do.
A team in green will be hoping for a win for the other team in green, that's Ireland, because that's what the points table will confirm for you. If USA win, they go through. If it's a rained-off game, USA go through as well, because all they need is just 1 point. Pakistan's best bet is for USA to lose against Ireland and for Pakistan to win their last game. So it's just simple for USA, win it or hope for a lot of rain and qualify. However, for Ireland, Parthiv, changes, would you maybe look at bringing in Ross Adair because their batting is struggling? Sterling hasn't scored runs, Balbirnie is struggling as well.
Yeah, see, obviously, they are struggling. That's the reason why they're right at the bottom.
Yeah.
They've not won games. Yeah, that's something which they can look for because they obviously don't have that chance of qualifying from here. So, they probably try and get Ross Adair in. And Harry Tactor is also not getting runs. So, the runs is the problem for Ireland. And right, see, runs is a problem for everyone who has played more games in New York. So I think that is something which is not gone Ireland's way either. But when you played against India, it was expected that India would win. But for them, the losing against Canada will hurt them most. I think that is something which is not, that was probably a bigger defeat for them. But yeah, they can try and see a new batter coming in and try and play an attacking brand of cricket and try and make sure that a big win for them, which will just help Pakistan to qualify.
Fell short by 12 runs against Canada, the Irish. Paul Sterling, who would have felt very uncomfortable on that New York pitch, will heave a sigh of relief playing in Florida if there is play tomorrow.
A, if there's play tomorrow. B is that, look, there's so much rain, conditions will be very different. And that's the other thing I was thinking, that if you have a situation like that, it could be a shortened game as well.
Yeah.
And every time it's a shortened game, I think it'll suit the US more than it suits them because whatever it is, Ireland is a more pedigreed side. Yeah. So let's see how it
and
is.
Those conditions, if it's overcast, if there's a bit of help, that brings in Netravalkar into the game a lot more. He's also the man in form, having gotten the wickets of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Ali Khan also a threat now. However, if their captain, Mr. Patel, comes back in, and there's a strong chance that he will, at least there'll be better game awareness. You won't see those penalties being awarded once again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a very, very big factor in that game. Yeah. They had chance of bowling out Netravalkar in power play itself. Yeah. When India was in trouble, they stopped him after 2 overs. That is something which, Monang Patel has used him, Netravalkar, in such a way before in T20Is or even in one-day games, where in T20Is he has bowled 3 overs or sometimes even 4 overs on trot, and in one-day games he has bowled 8 over spells also. Yeah. So I think that's where the tactical error happened. Those the penalty runs which were awarded. That's something which can happen when you're not sure of your field. That's when you take a bit of time between overs. Yep. So that was clearly seen. And so from USS point of view, they would be hoping that Monang is fit and takes the field. He is the crucial wicketkeeper as well. We saw Gauss wicket-keeping. So they're also a bit of a downgrade there when Gauss was keeping. So all in all, they needed an opener who was in form, which was Monang. He was man of the match. So yeah, they would be hoping for him to come back.
And he will come in place of Shaheen Jahangir, who got out for a duck against Arshdeep Singh. However, is there a case to maybe bring in Kenji for Wen Chalkwick?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only other. Shalvik didn't bowl badly, actually, to be honest with you. He didn't bowl badly in the last match. But that's the only other change that you can think of. Monang straight swap for Shaheen Jahangir and maybe Kenji, but I think Shalvik's bowled well enough, and especially if there's rain and it's going to be difficult to grip the ball, I'd rather go with a medium pacer than a spinner.
Right, players to watch out for.
Players to watch out for. For Ireland, Paul Sterling.
Okay, and the Americans?
Saurabh Netravalkar.
You're not picking up Patel, sir? How?
How has he managed to avoid a Patel?
I'm still not sure whether he'll play or not. So.
Okay.
Look, I think Aaron Jones is very crucial for them because he's the big hitter, and if the game is shortened, even more important that he and Steven Taylor hit big runs out there.
Yeah.
So Aaron Jones for me on one side, the other side, I think Josh Little needs to get early wickets for them.
Corey Anderson has a point or two to prove. Harmeet Singh will want to show his wares with the bat and the ball. Big game coming up. Pakistan will be watching very closely. You guys must watch Cricbuzz Live at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. But before we say goodbye, the guessing game leaderboard is looking different, especially for Parthiv Patel. Let's find out what his performance today has done to his position. He's up to number 4 above Virender Sehwag. Hello, Mr. Patel.
I need to send this. Gaurav Kapoor is on the other side.
Yeah,
He was on the right. I have just reduced that gap between him and me with one good prediction today. And
Excellent.
I'm above Manoj Tiwari and Adam Gilchrist and Michael Vaughan, who haven't played. So that says enough. You are a dark horse in this game, sir.
I've started slowly. But, yeah, I'm thankful. I want to be humble. I don't.
He knows what happened to Gaurav last time.
But you can always blame.
One game at a time.
You won't blame the EVM if things go wrong?
One game at a time. I'm happy that I got both right.
All I want is don't tell me, inshallah, the boys played well. Bas, ye mat batana bas. Everything else is allowed.
It's almost midnight and it's just about the right time for us to give you the answer to today's Joy Factor, sir.
Yeah, let's have a look at the question again. It's so long back that I've forgotten. Okay, which cricketer took a hat-trick in his last international match is also the man of the match? It was a player, very interestingly, a player called Anthony Stewart of Australia in 1997, and he took a hat-trick against Pakistan. And it's amazing that he was playing international cricket, got a hat-trick. His form fell off so badly that he wasn't playing for his state side within a year, and then just vanished from the game. So never ever got that form again. But can you imagine getting a hat-trick and then never playing again for your country?
This is a serious answer from whoever got it. I hope it's a youngster. And that means that this youngster, guy or girl, has to be super cued in. Would have gone back in history, would have Googled really hard. Maybe search page number 9 is where he would have found the answer. Abhirup Barua, is he one of your regulars?
No, haven't seen it before. Well done, Abhirup. It's the first time I've seen this name.
Super stuff, Abhirup. Well done. It is midnight and it's time for us to say goodbye and good night. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of this all-important game that Bangladesh have won. Congratulations, Netherlands. Try again your next game. But tomorrow, big game. Good luck to Pakistan and to the two teams in action. India certainly will be hoping for a big USA win since there are a lot of Indians in action tomorrow. Do catch Cricbuzz Live sharp at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. Goodbye and good night.